Welcome to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. He's President and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, how are you today?
Great, Cynthia. It's always fun to be on set with you.
It's always fun. I love our time together because you're delivering such timely information to the viewing audience about being comfortable as you approach retirement. So many people are just nervous and don't know how to plan properly for retirement. And Paul, you take that edge completely away for the folks.
You know, you nailed it there. I think being comfortable, right? I think that a lot of people get complacent, right? Or they just think that, you know, well, I've got a financial person who I see and they help me out. But that comfort question is it. You know, well, how comfortable with them and advice that you're receiving are you?
Yeah.
Do you feel that they always have your best interest at mind? And the reason I'm mentioning that is because we find a lot of times when people come in to sit with us and they're coming from another group or somewhere out there, that they actually kind of come in, I don't want to say with a chip on their shoulder, but kind of a lot of people have a chip on their shoulder towards the financial industry, kind of like, well, you know, I don't think they do a good job, but it is what it is. And I think a lot of people kind of get this idea that, you know, well, it is just what it is, and you just got to live with what you get. And they don't realize that no, you don't have to live with what you get. You know, maybe you're not seeking advice from the right person or the right firm.
Sure.
Maybe you need to look around a little bit more and find some people who do have what's your best interest in mind and do want to help see you succeed and want to be along the journey with you. You know, so I think just a lot of people out there, or they're accepting mediocrity, or you know, they're in a state of just accepting what they have, rather than continuing to look and dive into find a better someone who could create a better situation for them.
Absolutely. And we've always talked about how there's such a difference with Roberts Wealth Management, if you will. You have such a caring and nurturing style, your entire office. And I know that you love giving back to the community. So it's not only about helping people, you know, in retirement, but you also give back, which I think is just an amazing blessing that you give in the community, Paul. I have to say that.
Well, we're very blessed and fortunate, Cynthia. So, you know, you have to count your blessings every day, and we do.
Absolutely.
We're very grateful for everything that we have. We're grateful for the business we have. We're grateful for all the people that we can help, and all the families we've helped, and all the lives we've changed. But, you know, none of it would be true without our clients, and if they didn't trust and believe in us.
Sure.
So it's their trust and belief in us that allows everything to happen, and has allowed us to create the fantastic business that we have. Now, here we are, you know, umpteen years later, and we've changed the lives of over 700 families along the Gulf Coast. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's but you know, it's their trust and belief in us that allows us to do that. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And so, but we love to give back to the community. As you stated, it has taken me a long time to build the right team and culture in our firm.
Yeah.
But we have an amazing culture. My all-star team is awesome. Our clients love every person, every interaction with everyone on their team. Because I can promise you, you will never walk into a professional office and find as enthusiastic and grateful and happy to be living life people as you will in our office.
Oh, that's fantastic.
They love what they do, they love helping others, and they get a lot of value from that, and it shows, and everybody feels that. That's why our clients really love working with our team members.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about the lady that bakes the cookies for you.
Miss Tiffany Werner is our client liaison. You know, not many financial offices have a designated personnel person who her full-time job is client liaison. So in other words, Tiff's job is to make your day better every day, in whatever way she can. That's actually how she answers the phone now. When clients call, she says, "Hey, how can I make your day better? What can I do for you?" But the thing is, it's not just words with Tiffany.
Yeah.
The clients know that, especially if they've been around a while. They know, it's meant and it's heartfelt, and she's there to make their day better. Her job is to make sure they get first-class service and a 5-star experience all the time. She loves her job. She does she's very good at it, and makes sure to fulfill that need. And everybody loves her chocolate chip cookies.
Aww.
She cooks them to perfection.
Well, I'm
So-
going to have to come and try one day.
You are. You could, Miss Tiff would love nothing more than to sit down and have a chat with you.
Yay, I would
But
love that.
but that's the beauty of it. It flows through the whole team,
Yeah.
and that's why the
Yeah.
clients love coming to meet with us. By the time they've sat down with me or one of our advisors, they say, "I'm so impressed with your team." And I'm like, well, you're just now getting to meet me. but we've had such a great experience now with Derek, all the way through, and then Miss Tiffany, and we met some of your Retire Right advisors at the workshop, and
Yeah.
we're just very impressed with your group. And,
It says a lot. It's a huge testimonial, Paul, to what you've built, and it's just an amazing culture, like you mentioned. I want to ask you a question, though, with so many things going on right now in the year of 2020, if you will. Are you hearing one question from your clients more than anything else? Is there one thing they're asking you?
yeah, there's definitely one thing they're asking me, but well, let me figure out how to pose this one a little bit more, because the last thing you ever want to do, especially in this polarized and angry environment that we have in our political structure, right, is to get political. But most of my clients' questions or concerns that we're receiving now are evolving the election,
Okay.
or politics, or social unrest, and how is it going to affect financial markets and economies and things of that nature. And a lot of people, very justified, still very concerned with the COVID pandemic and
Sure.
what is the financial and economic outcome of that, because we're just starting to see some of the lagging economic effects. And that's what a lot of people haven't realized thus far is, we like to talk about, hey, everything's fine, we're moving on, but economics don't work that way. You don't see the impacts immediately
It
and
takes
suddenly.
time.
Right?
Yeah.
You got all these lagging impacts that are starting to unfold, and so over the next year or so, we're going to see a lot of changes and a lot of things go on economically in America, and so there's a lot of reason for concern there.
Yeah.
But the good thing for our clients is we build them retirement plans that can weather any storm.
Exactly.
And so it doesn't matter what's thrown at us or what comes our way, we're going to be just fine. We're going to manage it. We're going to handle it with minimal loss or minimal bad effects, and come out of it and trek on with life.
Absolutely. And again, the whole thing is to build a plan that completely suits whoever it is personally, whatever's going on in the world. It's going to be okay, actually. And peace of mind, the ability to sleep well at night from having the design plan just for them.
People should demand that today.
Yeah.
You see, one fallacy with our industry is, just like any industry, when you want to scale it and you want to make it larger and create more businesses, you have to create standardization, right? So our industry is kind of guilty of, there's a lot of standardization across our industry to be able to meet the demand of the masses.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people are waking up today. A lot of people are becoming a lot more educated and a lot more informed, and they're realizing they don't want that standardization in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
They want that individual planning, that individual advice, that individual relationship, someone who knows them and their family and cares and is there in support of them for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
So I think there's a big change going on out there in retirees' mindset today and how they approach what type of financial firm they're going to work with.
Absolutely. Well, Paul, we're about ready to open up the phone lines for the very first time this week. Do you want to tell the viewing audience what they can expect to receive today?
I definitely do. For the next 10 callers who call 228-388-2031, we got a great offer today. We're going to give you a full conference with one of our all-star advisors, no cost, no obligation. Now, what should you expect in that meeting? This is going to entail a full forensic fee analysis where we're going to untangle what it's costing you to work with your current advisor. How do we reduce costs, reduce commissions or fees, and keep dollars in your pocket? Secondly, we'll move on to tax planning. How do we keep every dollar that we can in your pocket? If we earn you $1, we made you $1. Last but not least, we're going to build and wrap it all up into a nice, complete, customized income plan that will include how can you sustain income the rest of your life, no matter what's going on in economic or market cycles. How do we have proper estate planning put in place? And then we'll make sure that our inheritance plans and strategies are there. When we get done, in general, you're going to have a full-blown, comprehensive, holistic financial plan for retirement. You're going to feel that everything is buttoned up, all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and you're going to have the confidence you need to go out there and retire right. So pick up the phone right now and call 228-388-2031. Sit down with one of our advisors and let us help you figure out how to retire right.
Paul, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, once again, those phone lines are now open. That number to call is 228-388-2031. We know you have a lot of questions about how to plan your perfect stress-free retirement. Paul and his team have the answers for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call 228-388-2031. We'll be right back after this very short commercial break with some questions and answers for Paul, so please stay tuned.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Paul Roberts, and Paul is the president and the CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, a great first segment of the show that we had, and I love this part because I'm actually going to just ask you some questions, and I know you have no idea what's coming, but these are a lot of things that have been on the viewers' minds. Yeah. And so they've been very patient. They've been letting their questions kind of go from week to week, hoping that you would take some time to address them. So let's do one show in the future of just viewer questions.
We were talking about that, and I think that'd be a great idea. A whole show that's nothing but questions, nothing but Q&A from the listeners, because they're starting to pile up. We've got a few there that we have not addressed, and we promise everybody we'll try to address everything we can on the radio or on the air on TV. So yeah, I think you're right. We need to get caught up.
Yeah, let's do that. And I think one of the questions are going to be, what's Miss Tiffany's secret recipe for the chocolate chip cookie? That might be one.
I'm not going there. Right. You have to get that from Tiff, right? Because I know better. I know how women are about their recipes, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so funny you say that, because my daughter had a special recipe that she used to make, and so my friends used to ask her what it was, so she would tell them, but she would leave one ingredient out. I'm like, are you serious, honey? Give them the whole recipe. Anyway, not to deviate too much, but you're right. Women are very protective over their recipes.
I know my grandmother, boy, that cookbook. I mean, it was like, it was the Holy Bible, you know, it was everything.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Well, this is a great question, especially, I believe it's so timely right now, Paul, as well. It says, Paul, I have a question. How would I recover in the stock market if I've already suffered a loss? I'm feeling scared to get back in. What do you recommend? Is this a time to stay out of the market or to get back in?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Those are always tough situations, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for the question there, I feel that they've already found themselves in the place that we tried to avoid ever being.
Yeah.
Okay. As you know, a lot of clients come in and they start talking to us about how we manage, because they know we're known around the Gulf Coast for being the company that is able to handle the downside of the markets and manage drawdown the best. So they start asking me, you know, well, would you jump out of this market, or do you go to cash, or do you do this, or do you do that? You know, and basically the answer to them is, well, no. We trust in the money managers that we work with because they're great at what they do, and we don't second guess them. You know, we allow them to do it. That's the whole purpose of having institutionally managed assets where it's actively managed, because their job is to minimize that drawdown and reallocate the assets in the portfolio as needed.
Okay.
But our whole philosophy is, as a money manager, you never want to be put in the situation of trying to figure out or trying to guess when to enter a market or when to exit a market, right? no one out there times the markets perfectly or correct.
Right.
Lots of people have tried. Lots of fortunes have been lost by people
Yeah.
who think they can figure out how to time the market.
Yeah.
So you never put yourself in a place of timing the market. What you do is you build a portfolio or a plan, and you have active strategic money management to where it's going to weather those storms. It's
Okay.
going to go through the good times, it's going to go through the bad times, and you're not stuck trying to guess, should I get out now? And if I got out now, did I get out the right time? Or when do I get back in?
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that position. Come sit down with one of our all-star advisors and figure out how we minimize that market volatility and drawdown for our clients so they never have to get out and guess when to get back in. Stay through it all.
Okay.
Just be very strategic in how you allocate.
Okay, so be ready to ride any storm, if you will. Okay. It says, Paul, what are your best tips for someone if they're 10 or 20 years away from retirement? I feel like I need to have a plan in place. I'm not sure where to start, so can you at least give me some tips right now?
Yes, that is a great idea. They feel they need a plan in place,
Yeah.
and I agree.
Okay. They need to call.
They should start right now today. Okay.
Absolutely.
And, we're having fun with that, but that's one of the challenges that all of our advisors face. Is one of our frustrations sometimes is if we could get people 10 years before retirement, there's so much more we can do for them going forward. Unfortunately, most people sit down with us or call or come to start doing their retirement planning, right within the last 2 years or 1 year, and we can't quite do as much strategic tax management.
Okay.
That is the key for these people who have 10 to 20 years going forward. Don't just blindly move forward the next 10 to 20 years because your employer says shove all your money in your 401k and just doing that. Come sit down with one of our fiduciary advisors and get you a future tax plan created and ready. We've talked about it on many shows, and we can talk about it, in another segment coming up.
Yeah.
But we feel it is inevitable that taxes are definitely going up and going up significantly in the future.
Sure. Due to our deficit, Paul, how else can you make up for that?
That's it. So you can bet on it right now. We look at tax forward planning for the future as a sure thing dollar rather than going after chasing a maybe dollar.
Sure.
We can go put money in the market and we can speculate that something will increase in value and we can chase that maybe dollar. Or we can say, we're sure taxes are going up. And every dollar we position correctly today is going to save us a whole lot in the future. And like Grandma said, a dollar saved is
Dollar earned.
a dollar earned.
I love that.
So for 10 to 20 years out, come see us today. Let's start figuring out how to position you tax-wise. That's my
Okay.
answer for them.
That's an excellent answer. Thank you, Paul. We have another question. This one revolves around Social Security, if you will. It says, Paul, how do I know what age to start taking my Social Security benefit? I want to make sure I get the most money, but I'm confused at the process.
There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to Social Security.
Okay.
Social Security today is actually, honestly, it's a really tough decision today. It's a lot tougher than it was 5 or 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, when we sat down to help people with Social Security planning, it was basically just mathematics. We just looked at the numbers and the finances of it, and whatever worked mathematically the best worked. However, we had the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, a lot of law changes. We've got a lot of proposed law changes to Social Security right now. And we've got some problems with the disability funding, and we know they're going to make some major changes in 2022. So now it's not just making that Social Security decision over what's the best financial decision. We got to take in political factors. What do we think? What law changes are going to come our way? How do we plan to prepare for if these law changes come? We're also actually, when we plan Social Security today, we're doing Plan A and Plan B.
Okay.
Under current law, we're planning this way.
Okay.
But we've got backup Plan B here on the backside because we feel that these are the laws that are going to be changed pretty soon. And if they are, as long as we stay informed, we can run down there and file and go with Plan B before those law changes occur.
Okay.
But today, Social Security decisions are just a really complex creature, and it's a decision that I don't recommend anybody out there make it alone.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to gather all the right information. You could suffer penalties for earning too much or filing at the wrong age. You could suffer taxation, and you may just shortchange yourself in the long run. So what I would advise this person is, look, we do a lot of Social Security planning workshops. We had one just last week.
Okay.
We've got another one coming up sometime before the end of the month. I'm not sure the exact dates, but give our office a call, 228-388-2031. Talk to Mr. Derek Inkle. He coordinates all of our events. He'll let you know when our new and upcoming Social Security workshops are. Come sit down with us, get educated, get informed and empowered, and then we can sit down with you and help you figure out, do you need our assistance in making your Social Security decision? But come get informed. Come to a workshop.
Okay, absolutely.
I can't answer the question specifically because it's so individually based.
Exactly. You know? Again, it's very personalized, like
Yeah.
you mentioned. Well, Paul, we're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines, and I'll tell the viewers at home what they can expect to receive today.
Right.
To the viewers at home, the phone lines are once again now open, and we realize the phone lines have been busy in the past, so again, there is an additional phone line for your convenience this week. The number to call is 228-388-2031. Paul is offering you the opportunity to come in for a complimentary consultation. Sit down with him or one of the team members and put a plan in place for what's going to work for your specific needs. Remember, retirement is not one size fits all. It's not cookie cutter. It needs to be very individualized for what your hopes and dreams are. Again, this opportunity is available to the next 10 callers, 228-388-2031. We have to take a very short commercial break, but when I come back, I'm going to have more questions for Paul about how to plan your perfect retirement. Please stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. And Paul is president and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, a great show today. We actually have had 2 segments so far, and I can't believe it because the time goes by so fast. But I do want to get just a couple more viewer questions in, if that's okay, because we're wrapping up on time.
Every show's so great, Cynthia. I love it. We have so much fun. How could it not be a great show with such a fantastic host?
Well, thank you so much, and I love being with you. And again, I just am so appreciative of the information that you share, because every time you speak, I'm learning as well. So I love that. Thank you so much. So I want to ask you a question. You know, due to current market conditions, you're probably getting asked this a lot, but do you recommend that people start pulling from their 401k right now? Why or why not? That just as always, these questions, when you're getting questions in the financial world, it's always so tough, especially when you got viewers out there looking for a precise answer, because everything's so individualized, and there's no exact or one-size answer. To start taking withdrawals from 401k, it's a very, individual situation basis, but a lot of people, we are very much encouraging them at this point to take withdrawals from their 401ks or their IRAs, their pre-tax money. We're actually recommending, advising, a lot of our clients are taking more of a withdrawal of taxable money from their IRA withdrawal or 401k than they need every year, because we're doing what we call pre-tax planning for the future. Okay.
We've got this big, what we call tax bond bucket of qualified money sitting there. It's never been taxed. And we know that future tax codes, we feel they're definitely going to be much higher. Yeah. So we feel that it's a lot better right now to pay the taxes right now. At least we know what the rate is today, and we have no idea what the future rate's going to be. And our mentality is taxes are on sale right now. Get them while they're hot. This sale's not going to last forever.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
clearance is going away in 3
Yeah.
years, you know, and so we got to really take advantage of this tax bill today.
Yeah.
So I'd hate to put my foot in my mouth, but I don't know the specifics of their situation, but
Yeah.
it's probably a good idea to start getting some of that pre-tax money cleaned up.
Okay, excellent. And I love the fact that there's now a website out there for people that are having questions that they want to actually email you versus leaving on the phone. And I believe it's info@robertswealthms.com.
That's it.
So again, to the viewing audience, in case you're writing this down, the email is info@robertswealthms.com. Don't have a phone number that time, just an email.
Yep.
So used to saying the phone number. So that's great. So people can actually email their questions now, which is fantastic because we can actually take those and bring them into the show as well.
Yeah, and it's great. We're checking that, you know, on a daily and weekly basis at our office because we're using that same email address for the radio show, the television show.
Okay.
And we've been doing that for a few weeks now, and the questions have just started funneling in. We've got a whole lot of questions banked in there. Great questions, I got to say
Yeah,
to all our
yeah.
viewers out there. Evidently, you were doing a pretty good job. You make us feel great about what we're doing because you guys are asking some very savvy questions.
Yes, they are.
I think we've got our audience is becoming more and more empowered and educated because you can see it in the questions we're receiving.
Sure.
That each week the questions just get more and more complex and more savvy, and it's great to see that growth.
Definitely.
You know, from the viewing and listening audience out there.
And I love that when you and I are doing the show, like I can see the phone line starting to light up. You can't see it because of the way you're positioned, but I'm watching it, and it's so cool to see the excitement build every time we open up the phone lines. I mean, there's people that are waiting to get that complimentary consultation.
And I can't see it from here, but I can see that little glow in your eye every time it happens. So when I see Cynthia get excited, I get excited. I say, all right, great.
Yay!
More people we can help.
Exactly. So is a first consultation, is it about a 30-minute process, Paul? How long should someone expect to spend in the office with you?
It depends on how complex an individual situation gets, but I'd say always allot at least 60 to 90 minutes for that, about 60 minutes for the first session.
Okay.
Generally, the follow-up meeting, the second meeting, we'll need probably about 90 minutes, okay, about an hour and a half.
Okay.
The first session, first meeting is what we call our discovery session. We're just going to ask a lot of questions, look into your situation, and we're going to figure out if we're a good fit to work together or not. If at the end of that meeting we both feel that we're a good fit to work together, then we'll continue. Next meeting we'll move into strategy sessions and more complex situations, so we'll need a little more time there.
Okay.
But any of our viewers out there today, if you don't feel that you have a holistic financial plan for retirement, or you're just unsure, right now is a great time to pick up the phone. Call 228-388-2031. Sit down with one of our all-star advisors and let us help you retire right. We can add plenty of value to your life. We can give you that sleep at night portfolio. It just takes a little bit of time and a great conversation. So call 228-388-2031.
Paul, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a great week ahead. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you soon.